Sports. It's the AFC Championship game on EA Sports. Taking on the Cleveland Browns.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Oilers. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Airing it deep for Fowler. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
And it's fielded at the 34. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. They'll set up a throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards, the final tally. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. It's first and goal, a chance for the first points of this AFC title bout. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 3-yard touchdown run. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up first and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing left side, it's complete.
Complete to number
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So a first and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A false start backs him up 5, first and 15. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
Second and 11.
They'll look to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And that is incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff looking right. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Intended for number 18, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Yeah, we dominate.
Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though, 3rd and long. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Quickly completed to the right flat. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 20-yard touchdown. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Sly on for the extra point.
This one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This will be caught at about the 6. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Now's the time. Don't give them.
So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the battle to see who will take home the Lamar Hunt Trophy and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, time to look ahead to the NFC Championship coming up later today. And it should be a great one as well, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Chicago Bears. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half and the right to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, as I'm privileged to hand things back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
And incomplete.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And now out comes Houston. And the pressure mounting with every passing minute. It's palpable right now. They're on top in the 4th quarter, clinging to that lead. A potential Super Bowl berth resting on their ability to manage the clock and manage that small lead. And they'll begin by running the option. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
And they'll try to run the option here.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And they're going option play on 3rd down.
And they snap him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll push the lead up to 8.
The score, Oilers 27.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns' drive about to get started. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Yards to go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And all that hard work has paid off. They're AFC champions, and on to the Super Bowl they go.
It's got to be an amazing feeling for them, doesn't it, Brandon? The idea that you've done it all that hard work, all that sweating, all that effort, all those times you're getting yelled at by your coach, and now you get to go to the Super Bowl. Put your hats on, guys, and say AFC champs.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.